So, I was reading about the financial markets, and it seems like DAM Capital Advisors had a pretty impressive stock market debut.
Oh, really? I mean, I saw a little bit about it. What exactly happened?
Well, their shares listed at a 39% premium over the issue price. That's like a huge jump, right?
Yeah, that is actually a pretty significant jump. That means if their issue price was, say, a dollar, then the stock immediately opened at about $1.39.
Exactly. And it wasn't a small offering either. I mean, the subscription was over 80 times. It was a big deal.
That's incredible. It's like when you try to get concert tickets online, but everyone else is trying to, and it sells out immediately.
Haha, yeah, exactly. So, what does this all mean for the average investor? Should they get in on the action?
Well, analysts are kind of split. Some are saying it's a good time to book profits if you got in early.
Right, like take the money and run kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. But then there are others who say if you are a long term investor, you should maybe hold and see how things go over time.
So, it's not exactly a clear cut answer.
No, not really. It's like trying to predict the weather. It's not an exact science and it can shift really quickly.
Okay, I get that. So, what about those who didn't get the initial allotment? Should they chase the stock now?
That's the tricky part. Analysts seem to suggest to wait for some dips, maybe after some profit booking, and then consider buying.
Right, so be patient and maybe buy low if the opportunity comes along.
Exactly. It's like when you see a sale on something you want, but you wait a little longer to see if it goes even lower.
That's a good analogy. So, this IPO was entirely an offer for sale, right? What does that mean?
Well, that means the company isn't raising any new capital itself. The money goes to the existing shareholders who sold their shares.
Ah, okay. So, it's more like a transfer of ownership, not new investment for the company directly.
Precisely. It's like reselling a used car. The company who built it isn't getting paid again.
Got it. That clears up a lot. But isn't DAM Capital Advisors one of the big investment banks in India?
Yes, they are. I mean, they handle a lot of investment banking, like IPOs, M&As, and even institutional equities.
So, they're kind of the ones making the markets move in a way.
You could say that, yes. They're like the architects of many financial deals in the market.
That's pretty interesting. So, how has the company been growing recently?
Well, their income has grown pretty significantly over the last couple of years. It's like they are on an upward trajectory.
That's a good sign. So, in summary, the stock had a great listing, but investors need to be cautious and strategic.
Exactly. It's a mix of short term gains versus long term potential, and everyone needs to assess their own risk tolerance.
Okay, so I mean, the main takeaway is that it's not as simple as just jumping in after a big opening, right?
Right. It's like jumping into the deep end of the pool without checking the water first.
Makes sense. So, what do you think? Should we be keeping a closer eye on DAM Capital Advisors in the coming months?
Yeah, actually, I think so. Especially, I mean, to see how the stock performs and if the analyst predictions hold true.
Okay, that's a good plan. I'm really curious to see what happens next with them.
Me too. The stock market is like a living, breathing entity, and it's always fascinating to watch it evolve.
Totally, it's constantly changing, and there's always something new to learn.
Exactly. And it's important to stay informed, like we just did. Now, what should we tackle next?